Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
And ich bin Günther. No, I'm not really Günther. That's German. That means I am Günther, but I don't really speak German very well. But in today's lesson, we're not going to be learning English. We're going to be studying German because Germany is a very strong country, and you probably should learn how to speak some German with them if you're going to do some work with them. Well, I'm kind of kidding there.
No, Tom, they speak really good English.
In theory, I guess. It kind of depends on where you go. I've heard of some people going there and not being able to communicate in some places, but in big cities like Hamburg and Dusseldorf and Munich, of course, they're going to be speaking English pretty well. But we are going to be talking about Germany today. Specifically, we're going to talk about things that were invented in Germany, and you might be surprised there are a lot of everyday things that were invented in Germany that you probably don't know about.
I consider Germans to be really clever people, very smart. They come up with these great ideas, and the things that they make are very well made. For example, the Benz. People all know that car.
Right.
They make things that last for a long time, so I really like German-made products.
Actually, I think Benz has had some bad reviews or something in recent years. But I'm sure they're working on it. And, of course, you all know about the Volkswagen controversy that happened last year. But in any case, yeah, once in a while they make a mistake or two. But still, basically, German things are very high quality and they are very sought after. And, yes, we're not going to be talking so much about Benzes or BMWs or Audi and stuff like that. We're going to talk about everyday things that you see in your everyday life. So let's get to it. Let's read the entire content of today's lesson and find out what those everyday things are. When you think of German products, cars and beer probably flash through your mind right away. However, it is very likely that you are using many other German inventions and don't even realize it. In fact, Germany has been a powerhouse of inventions for hundreds of years. Many people greet the day with a cup of coffee. The coffee filters they use were created by a German housewife back in 1908. Melitta Benz couldn't figure out why her coffee was always bitter and overbrewed. She decided to pour boiling water over the loose grounds on top of a paper filter, and it worked wonders. She tried several kinds of paper, finally settling on her son's school blotter paper. Benz patented her idea, and it soon became a daily necessity for many people. Christmas wouldn't be complete without a large, delicately decorated Christmas tree. This is also a German creation, dating back to the 1400s. The tree, known as a Tannenbaum, was typically decorated with fruit, nuts, and candles. The tradition largely stayed in Germany until the late 19th century, when it exploded in popularity abroad. During World War II, Allied forces fought German forces by attacking their food supplies. This included a trade embargo that blocked Nazi Germany's Coca-Cola imports. Max Keith, head of Coke in Germany, did not get frustrated. He created a new soda in 1941 with local ingredients such as whey and pumice. These were the leftovers of leftovers in Keith's own words. Keith then told his team to come up with an imaginative name for their new product. The word imaginative translates as Fantasie in German, so when one of Keith's salesmen exclaimed, "Fanta," the orange soda Fanta was born. Aside from these, there are many other German inventions that we use every day. Take a look around your home. Who knows? Maybe some of your possessions are uniquely German.
Okay, guys, when you think of German products, especially the cars and beer, perhaps, they're known for their beer. That's what you usually think of when you think of German-made things. Oh, their cars, oh, their beer. I think of some of their watches. But it's very likely that you are using many other German inventions and don't even realize it. As Tom said before he started reading the article through, some of these inventions are just everyday things that we have in our everyday lives. They're not expensive. Sometimes when I think of German products, I think, ooh, it costs a lot. But not some of these things. You're going to be surprised when you hear where they were made and who thought of them. Okay, guys, when you think of German products, especially the cars, and beer, perhaps, they're known for their beer. That's what you usually think of when you think of German-made things. Oh, their cars, oh, their beer. I think of some of their watches, but it's very likely that you are using many other German inventions and don't even realize it. As Tom said before he started reading the article through, some of these inventions are just everyday things that we have in our everyday lives. They're not expensive. Sometimes when I think of German products, I think, ooh, it costs a lot. But not some of these things. You're going to be surprised when you hear where they were made and who thought of them.
Indeed, and we did mention German cars. Of course, you know what those are. German beer, there are various brands that are exported from Germany, but also they have lots of little breweries there that you probably can only have their beer there if you go there.
Yeah.
But in any case, these things will flash through your mind right away. Yes, beer, cars, BMW motorcycles, stuff like that. However, it is very likely that you are using many other German inventions, and you don't even realize it. You don't even know it. An invention, of course, is something that someone created from an idea. It's kind of totally new, like the light bulb or the telephone or something like that. And in fact, Germany has been a powerhouse of inventions for hundreds of years. Despite the fact that during the 20th century, they kind of went wild and tried to take over different countries and killed lots of people, the Germans, over centuries, have basically, I guess, contributed more good things than bad things to the world. And so we can say that they have been a powerhouse of inventions. A powerhouse here usually refers to some kind of a building that creates power, like a power plant, for example. But in any case here, or a powerhouse here, just means someone or something that has a lot of energy. They're very strong and they're very powerful.
That's right. Now, many people greet the day or get up and, try to go to work. Usually it starts with a cup of coffee. I know a lot of friends who can't even think clearly until they have a cup of coffee. Well, if you make coffee at home, you know that one of the things that you need is a coffee filter. And those were actually invented by a German housewife. Now, if you filter something, filter is a noun or a verb. It's something that is used to remove impurities or some sort of solid objects that you don't want in something. A lot of us have water filters at home that filter out the bad things like lead and other chemicals in the water that we don't want to drink. Well, the coffee filters that we're using were actually created long ago, 1908, and it was created by a German housewife.
Indeed, and her name was Melita Benz, and she could not figure out why her coffee was always bitter and overbrewed. Ugh, this coffee is so bitter. I hate it. Every day it's the same thing. Can't I have coffee that is not so bitter? Maybe some coffee that's a little more mild. It's also been overbrewed. We use the word brew for coffee. We most
tea.
often use for tea also, and also for beer.
Yep.
That's why a place that makes beer is called a brewery. But in this case, we also use the word brew for coffee or tea. And if it's overbrewed, that means the coffee or the tea has been in the water too long, and it's just too dark. The flavor is too strong. So she's wondering why it was always overbrewed. She probably tried to limit the amount of coffee. She thought of those things, but it still wasn't working. It was just, too bitter, and it's too overbrewed. I can't drink this stuff.
Well, she decided to pour boiling water, really hot water, over the loose grounds on top of a paper filter, and it worked wonders. When you're talking about grounds of coffee, it just means those coffee beans that you grind is the verb to grind, produce something called coffee grounds. So that's a noun there. Loose means they're separate. They're not stuck together or connected together. They're just loose. So first you have to grind the coffee beans down into grounds, and that's what you're using to make your coffee. So if something's loose, again, it's not connected to anything else. It's separate, flowing around my shoulders. Now, she also used something called a paper filter. We talked about what a filter does. It takes out things that you don't want left. And it says here it worked wonders. If something works wonders, it works great. It's just perfect.
Indeed, and she tried several different kinds of paper, finally settling on her son's school blotter paper. If you settle on something, that means you finally make a decision after you've had many different choices. For example, when I was considering going to university, I considered going to the U of M, University of Minnesota, or Wisconsin, or Nebraska, but I settled on the University of Iowa. That's where I went to university. I settled on that. That was my final decision. So she tried different kinds of paper, maybe newspaper, maybe typing paper, maybe newspaper, but she finally settled on her son's school blotter paper. I don't think we use this so much anymore, but blotter paper is a kind of paper that you use to suck up extra ink from your pen. I guess they probably used that more often when they were using fountain pens as opposed to ballpoint pens. That's my guess.
Yeah, there's something we still put on tops of desks in America, at least. It's sort of like a pad of lots of papers together, and it sits on your desk, and you kind of use it. It's extra paper that you can scribble on to see if your pen's working at all. Sometimes your pen ink won't flow very well, so you just kind of scratch on it. That's blotter paper. And once that first top sheet is all taken up, there's no extra space on there. Sometimes my dad would use his blotter paper on his desk to write down phone numbers, quick notes, and then you rip it off and you have a clean sheet of blotter paper below it. It's just actually paper, kind of scratch paper, I would say, that we use on top of our desks, especially at work. I see them. Nowadays, we're using tablets and computers so much, I think we don't see as many blotter paper pads on desks anymore, but that's what she was using. I haven't seen any in Taiwan, to be honest, Tom.
Never really seen it. When I do drawings with a ballpoint pen, I often have a little piece of tissue paper there, and I need to dab the pen in the tissue paper because the ink kind of balls up sometimes and creates these big blots of ink on your drawing and ruins it. So
and the and the ladies out there would know the verb blot. Let me teach you. If you have lipstick, you put lipstick on. If you don't blot it or take a tissue and touch your mouth with it, press it on your mouth, then you get lipstick all over the glasses when you drink something, or if you kiss somebody, you get lipstick all over them.
Yeah,
so that will blot.
Disgusting. Yeah, I remember when I was growing up, I always saw tissue papers in the garbage cans with these lips on them.
Yeah.
That was my mother using it as a blotter for her lipstick. Well, in any case, yeah, she finally decided or settled on her son's blotter paper, and she later patented her idea, and it soon became a daily necessity for many people. If you patent something, you apply to the government for the right to reproduce this thing, to
own the idea.
To own the idea, basically. Yeah. So if somebody else does that, you can sue them for stealing your idea. That's called patent infringement.
That's right. We still see a lot of that happening today. I think Apple was suing Samsung for patent infringement. So these sorts of, lawsuits and legal problems go on all the time. So if you have a great idea, guys, the first thing you need to do is protect your idea by applying to the government for a patent, which says you own the idea, and if somebody else wants to make it, they have to pay you money. So right now, guys, we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back to continue talking about everyday things that were invented in Germany.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 我们今天要看的主题是跟德国的发明有关系。首先来看到在第一个空格前面的句子提到 However, it is very likely that you are using many other German inventions and don't even blank one it。很有可能呢，你正使用着很多德国的发明的东西，而不怎么样呢？那么我们看一下前后文意，就是要让你知道，今天要介绍还有很多你不了解的德国发明物。所以搭配文意，第一题我们可以选择 F 选项的 realize， 在这里是有了解、知道的意思。我们要看到的是第二段，这里提到了 Melita Benz 这位太太。我们来看一下第二个空格的句子，写着 Melita Benz couldn't figure out why her coffee was always blank too and overbrewed。这位妇人呢，她老是想不懂为什么她的咖啡总是怎么样，而且呢，似乎是煮过了头。那么用 and 来连接前后相同的意思，那么咖啡煮过了头，当然就会变得很苦咯。所以在这里词性也是需要一个形容词。搭配文意，第二题的标准答案可以选择 D bitter， 也就是有苦的意思。而第三个空格前面提到呢，他就想了要把煮沸的水倒在这个滤纸上方的粉末上，然后发生了什么事情呢？在逗号后面就写着 and it blank 3， 这样一来呢，反而就有意想不到的结果发生，就是我们现在常常用的滤纸。在英文里面，如果我们说 something works wonders，也就是有创造奇迹的意思。所以在这里的搭配文意，第三题可以选择标准答案 E worked wonders。第四个空格的句子提到 Benz patented her idea and it soon became a daily blank 4 for many people。每天早上都要喝咖啡，都有可能要用到这样子的滤纸，所以这位太太呢，很快的就把她的想法取得了专利，而咖啡的滤纸也就成为许多人的什么呢？每日的必需品，没错。所以在这里第四个空格可以选择 I 选项的名词 necessity， 在这里就代表着必需品的意思。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. We just talked about coffee filters, which helps your coffee less bitter or to be less bitter and not to be so overbrewed. Now, let's talk about something else, the Christmas tree. So Christmas wouldn't be complete without a large, delicately decorated Christmas tree. That's true. You can't celebrate Christmas without a Christmas tree. It's large and delicately decorated. Delicately here just means with a lot of details, really fine, really exquisite. It's got lots of nice decorations and tinsel and bulbs and lights and stuff like that.
Ornaments, we call them ornaments at Christmas. We put ornaments on the tree. Well, this is also a German creation. It dates back to the 1400s. Wow, the Middle Ages. The tree in German was known as the Tannenbaum. In fact, there's a Christmas carol that we sing in America where we sing about the Christmas tree. Oh, Tannenbaum, oh, Tannenbaum. Well, it was typically decorated with fruit, nuts, and candles. Can you imagine candles on a Christmas tree?
Started a fire or something.
So dangerous. The tradition largely stayed in Germany until the late 19th century, which is the 1800s, when it exploded in popularity abroad. That's when countries around the world, Western countries at least, heard about the Christmas tree and they thought, we need that. That's a great one. So now we have Christmas trees when we celebrate Christmas. Let's take a look at the next paragraph. During World War II, Allied forces fought German forces. Those are their military troops. They fought each other by attacking their food supplies. If people don't have food, they might surrender quicker because they're starving to death. The Allied forces, the Allies in World War II, were the countries that were supporting each other in the fight against Nazi Germany. We were trying to defeat German.
The Russians and the British and the Canadians and the Americans, they were all part of the Allied forces.
Yeah.
And they fought those nasty Germans, those Nazis. And they attacked their food supplies. They tried to take away their sausage and their corn and their potatoes and stuff like
Everything
that.
they could.
This included, of course, a trade embargo that blocked Nazi Germany's Coca-Cola imports. Ooh, that must have really hurt. They had this trade embargo. An embargo just means you ban trade with another country. The United States, of course, have had trade embargoes against Iran before and Cuba and other places. They probably still have one against North Korea as well. And, well, they had this trade embargo, and they would not give the Germans their Coca-Cola. Hey, meine Coca-Cola! Hey, how am I supposed to drink when I'm trying to invade Poland and kill a bunch of Jews? I need my Coca-Cola to do that. Well, the Americans said, nope, you can't have Coke. Sorry, you're just going to have your own drinks.
Max Keith was the head of Coke in Germany. He did not get frustrated. If you're frustrated, you're really upset because you're not getting something you want. Maybe you're feeling annoyed at somebody because they're hard to work with. Or maybe you are expressing some sort of distress because maybe you aren't able to go ahead and achieve what you have set out to achieve. Well, Max Keith, he was in Germany and he couldn't get the Coke he needed. He was actually working for the company, but, they couldn't get a hold of Coke. So he didn't get frustrated. What did he do? He got creative. He created a new soda in 1941 with local ingredients that they could get their hands on in Germany, things they didn't have to import from other countries, like whey and pumice, which are interesting ingredients for a soda. I look at those ingredients and I think, ugh, am I drinking that stuff? What is whey, Tom?
What is whey? Well, according to the dictionary, it says it's the watery part of milk that is left over after curds are formed. Curd, of course, or curds are used to make cheese. So when they take the curds out of the milk, there's this kind of watery part of the milk that remains behind. I suppose most of the time it's probably thrown out or something like that because it's not really thick like regular milk. But here he used the whey and some other ingredients and made up his own drink for the good old Germans to drink.
Pumice is something we've never even seen before. Tom and I had to look it up.
It's a new word for me, too. Yeah.
It's just the pulp that's left over after you press or crush something. It could be a fruit, or it could be even seeds that are crushed. So they use some pumice. We don't know where it came from. These were the leftovers of leftovers. That's funny. If you have leftovers, guys, it just means it's the food that remains after the rest has been eaten. Maybe you have leftovers after dinner, and then the next morning you pack those leftovers and take them to work for lunch. So they were leftovers of leftovers, the stuff nobody wanted, in Keith's-own words. That's why we have quotation marks around them. Keith told his team to come up with an imaginative name, a creative name for their new product. The word imaginative translates as Fantasie in German. So when one of his salesmen exclaimed, if you exclaim, you say something with a lot of emotion. Could be anger. It could be happiness. It could be joy. But with a lot of excitement, a lot of emotion, he said, Fanta! That was his idea for a new product name, and the orange soda Fanta was then born. So that's where Fanta comes from, Germany.
That is indeed where it comes from. And aside from these, there are many other German innovations or German inventions that we use every day. An innovation, of course, is like an invention, but it's something new and novel, something that hasn't been seen before. Take a look around your home, okay? Who knows? Maybe some of your possessions are uniquely German. A possession is just something that you own. You have purchased it, or someone gave it to you, and now you own that thing. And maybe once in a while we need to remember what our possessions are so that we don't take them for granted. And who knows, maybe some of our possessions were actually invented in Germany. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but if I go online and do a search in Google, German inventions, I bet the list will be endless.
That's a good idea. Right now, guys, we're going to listen one more time to our Chinese teacher.
接着我们来看到第5个空格，这个句子提到 Christmas wouldn't be blank 5 without a large, delicately decorated Christmas tree. 到了圣诞节，一定要有一棵很大又装饰精致的圣诞树，因为如果没有这个圣诞树，就感觉没有圣诞节，圣诞节就再也不完整完美了。所以搭配文意，第5题需要在 be 动词后面放一个形容词，我们可以选择 A 选项的 complete。 如果讲到某个东西 wouldn't be complete without something， 就代表着没有这个东西，前者就不完整了。所以第5题的标准答案我们就选择 A complete。 第6个空格的句子提到 The tradition largely stayed in Germany until the late 19th century when it blank 6 in popularity abroad. 其实呢，有圣诞树的这个传统呢，一直都是现在德国境内，直到19世纪的晚期才开始的在国外。怎么样呢？在 it 后面需要放一个动词，我们可以搭配 in popularity， 表示圣诞树后来在国外呢是蔚为潮流，所以搭配文意，第6题可以选择 C 选项的 exploded， 有爆炸的意思。所以如果你说explode in popularity 就是指大为风行的意思。第7个空格的句子提到 This included a trade embargo that blocked Nazi Germany's Coca-Cola blank 7. 其实在这里提到呢，在2战期间呢，有所谓的 embargo， 也就是禁运或者是封港令。这样一来就造成了呢，这个纳粹德国就有了可口可乐什么的贸易禁令。看到后面的文章，你就发现因为战争的关系，所以东西就运不进来，就造成阻碍了可口可乐的进口。所以第7题我们可以选择 L 选项的 imports， 在这里当作名词，表示有进口的意思。第8个空格Keith then told his team to blank 8 an imaginative name for their new product. 喝不到可口可乐就自己创造咯，而创造出来的东西呢，他就要他的这些同仁来去想想这个新产品，来为他创造出一个有创意的名字。所以在英文里面我们可以用 come up with， 有提出想到的意思。所以第8个空格可以选择 B 选项come up with。 而这时候他的同仁呢就突然大叫了，在德文里面 imaginative 就是 fantasia fantasy 的意思，所以他就大喊了 Fanta。 所以在第9个空格后面的句子就提到 The orange soda Fanta was blank 9， 就是因为他大喊了一声 Fanta， 所以这种橘子汽水就因此而诞生了。所以第9题空格就可以填 H 选项的 born。 第10题Aside from these, there are many other German blank 10 that we use every day. 其实呢，除了刚刚所提到的东西，还有很多是跟德国怎么样，是我们现在每天都在使用的。在 German 形容词后面放一个名词，我们可以选择 K 选项的 innovations， 在这里当作名词解释成为发明物，发明的商品。以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
That is it for today. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to Germany for all those wonderful inventions that we use in our everyday lives. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.